Hello and welcome to Scientifically Speaking. Today we're going to go through some of the basics of double helix energy flow and how you could teach it to children. Alright, let's just show how we can do it with this plant. Now, when I worked out how an electric atom worked, immediately after I envisioned it in my head of how it would travel from orbit 1 to orbit 2, it went into my head, opened a scroll, and everything in the universe poured out and allowed me to see it, or came in and allowed me to see it. And God showed me how energy and matter are separate, and that energy moves matter. Energy attracts matter, matter covers energy, energy moves matter. Your body is a prime example of this. Now, I've always taught vortex to Auraboris field. Now, an Auraboris field wave looks like this. This is a vortex. This is the inertial plane. Underneath here are the roots. This is like a magnetic field. This is the inertial line. This is midway through a magnet. This is on one side, the roots are on another. But on a magnet, the roots are on this side and the leaves are underneath. So on either side of this magnet, it shoots out a vortex. This is a double helix vortex in the center. It is double sheathed, one circle inside another. And what it does is clears out everything in the center and pushes it out to either side. And then there is a double membrane of double helix, one helix inside another. So there is a space. That space is where all matter that is accumulating is moved to either side, and it forms a ring. In a tree, this is filled with wood because it gets thicker, so eventually the hole in the middle gets smaller, but it is always double helix vortex, and then the double helix splits off to both sides and another main beam comes through. Some people seem to think that this might mean there's 3 helixes, but there is not. This is a double helix, but when it splits into 2, this now becomes, this is a double helix and this is a double helix, and you can tell because it's got a leaf. This side rolls up and this side rolls up, and they both roll up into a helix. I showed this on a really old video where I roll up the sides of the leaf and you get a double helix pattern on the outside when you roll the leaves back in. So when leaves come out, one is rolled inside like that. They're either both rolled up together so that there's a leaf that side and then the other leaf bends over in the same direction. Or you can have a W shape of 2 leaves, so they come out like a W and then they unfold. But this is a double helix wave and this is a double helix wave. It may produce more, but this is the epitome of it. So vortex to wave, but there's so much energy in the atmosphere and so much information in the seed, it has been told to reach a certain frequency height, a certain amount of energy before it produces a flower. So it must go through these changes. There is a Fibonacci turn to every leaf because all energy increases or decreases via a Fibonacci spiral, which is why a lot of plant tops have, like sunflowers, have a double helix pattern of left and right. So this is the simplest way, and this vortex to wave is in light travel, water travel, gene expression, you name it, it's powered by vortex to wave. Now that of course is in every flower. This is a maple bonsai that I've just started training, but again it is vortex to 2 waves, and then after that you get another 2 waves. And if we roll these leaves up, it will form a double helix that way, exactly the same way that this is formed. And all plants do this. Now we're going to relate it, just for the heck of it, to plasma physics. in plasma physics, a plasma instability is called a heteromag, and it comes up, has two waves, comes up, has two waves, comes up, has two waves. So it's vortex to wave, discovered by Anthony Peratt. I'll put up a couple of pictures. So already we've gone from plants to plasma flow. There's plenty of Thunderbolts pictures. I'll pop a few of these up. These are all called heteromags as well, and it is the formation of energy and matter into this kind of shape, because this kind of shape is only this kind of shape due to the DNA code frequency, which tells it to do this. If not, it would just be an invisible plasma charge out of the ground, because the ground has surface magnetism. We have the full-on field, but any rock in the ground will cause surface magnetism. This is like a static discharge shooting up through a seed, creates a heteromag formation, and that goes with every single plant. Vortex to wave. That is the principle that God showed me and how I've been able to work everything out. Every tree, vortex. The leaves are waves. This way is electrical, this way is magnetic. So now we have these flowers here. Now I just want to talk to you about why Jesus Christ is called the lily. Now, as these flowers try and produce, they do vortex to wave, vortex to wave, vortex to wave, and then when they've gained enough energy, they crown themselves with that. They crown themselves with that. We've seen crowns with little balls on the top. You've seen them with fleur-de-lis waves on top of crowns. I'm putting up a few pictures here so you can see. So why would Jesus be called the lily, and why is he the epitome of God's creations, and why does the king wear flowers in his hair? Bees. That's a cool looking bee. Never seen an orangey bummed one before. Got an orange bum. So why would Jesus wear flowers in his hair? Well, for the very same reason that crowns finish in these balls. After this, you get the full release of energy, which is the opening of the flower. So the greatest achievement of the Father is the Son Jesus, because he has enough energy, wisdom and knowledge to wear flowers in his hair. This is the epitome of full energy transference of one source to another. And so Jesus will appear with flowers in his hair. This is the sign of greatness. Here, if a man wears flowers in his hair, he's laughed at. And that's fair enough, because flowers here just mean pretty things. But in the analogy of spirituality that allows men to see and hear the things that are in front of him, the king wears flowers in his hair, and the king is called the lily, because he is the full expression of God, the true unflowering, the true flowering of the spirit through matter. Because obviously Jesus isn't a lily, but this is what it all means, which is to unfold into your potential, which is fully flowered. And again, every single thing on this planet is vortex to wave. Now let me show you something. I showed you this plant a little while ago, and I said, even though you can't tell now, this is going to produce what looks like a human body, because all things are made the same way. Vortex to wave. So hopefully you can see the chest here. My phone keeps bloody shutting off because it's a useless piece of shitty technology that I was lied to about how the future was going to be fantastic. Alright, back to this. So, what do we see? Let's just take that off. So, just like your body, this has shoulders and backbone. Let's find one where it's red. There we go. Now that looks like the shoulder blades or chest of a body with his arms raised. And why? Because all things are made the same way. Vortex to wave. So we've gone from plants to plasma physics to the human body, because this is how your body is constructed. You have a torso, arms, legs and a neck for your head, and if we turn it upside down, this would be legs and reproductive organs, inside or outside. So this really is an exclamation that I can put a vortex to a wave, which can turn into a Auraboris ring wave, or it can turn into an Auraboris sphere, as we can see right here. That's what's known as an Auraboris sphere. This looked like a what's my phone doing? Jesus, it's jumping around now. This is the same pattern as a sunflower. Doesn't look like one though, does it? No, because that's an Auraboris sphere. That's what's created. When you blow into one of those little circles filled with bubbles, and out comes bubbles on the other side, it took two lungs to make one vortex to blow into it, which created an Auraboris sphere and then sealed itself with the Auraboris ring. When you blow into a bubble making machine, one of them little circles with washing up liquid in it, and you go and blow through it and a bubble comes out. Yeah, two vortices out of your mouth in one stream creates a double helix Auraboris sphere inside a bubble of soap that closes itself with the Auraboris ring. Vortex to wave. So the whole Earth is covered in Birkeland current fingers sticking up in the air, from below atom sized to tree size. That's the size of the beam. And it's yeah, for me, I've been mentioning this quite a few videos over the years. This tree used to be healthy. This tree used to be healthy. They've dropped dead and nothing used to grow in between them. Now these trees are growing here. If you understand what that means, you know that that beam died.
Right, changed to my GoPro because my camera phone just doesn't seem to be able to take more than a 5-minute video before overheating, then tell me the camera doesn't work no more. Technology, all the shit we've been taught to believe, and it's a pile of crap. Where was I? This didn't used to grow here. Now there's two trees. Yeah, that tree did not die because of disease, and that tree didn't die because of disease. That tree died because the energy beam that was running through it disappeared. That one died because the energy beam in it disappeared. No other trees are dead like that. Just these two. And now this has grown here. Why? Because there's no beam for these two. The beams are getting thinner and the shield is lowering. If the beams this way can't hold up the roof starts coming down. People don't seem to understand energy at all. So, vortex. Every piece of grass, double helix vortex. They've all got a spine. That's your main beam, and then perpendicular to the original flow always is the magnetic field. But you have to remember, it is electricity and magnetism, but the inverse reflection of that is magnetism electricity. That means one will do the work over the other, and the other one will do the reverse. My double helix finger. In every double helix, at the end, there is a point and there is a hole. There is a double helix which spins open like that, and then there is another double helix which spins in. So this one spins out and gets bigger, and this one spins in and gets smaller. So one double helix has a hole at the top and one has a point. So how does that make my finger a double helix finger? Well, on this side we see a spiral point right there, and on the other side, well, there's a hole. So that's a double helix finger. Pointy side on this side, hole side on that side. Your body. Wave. Your body is the same as those plants. Everything on this planet is a vortex to a wave. So, That's the easiest way that you could explain every single thing in the universe. As blood and energy goes through your bones have tiny little holes in them. As the energy goes through, it creates an Auraboris sphere, which is then flattened into a blood cell. Your brain is a folded over double helix. That's why your eyeballs cross over. They have to cross from front to back because that's the inertial line crossover. So the left hand side you're seeing with the right side of your brain, and the right hand side you're actually seeing with the left hand side of your brain. So yes, if you want to explain to a child, you tell them vortex, wave, vortex, wave, and that's all it ever is. And as you see, the vortex, the wave is travelling at 90 degrees difference. The wave is always perpendicular to the original flow, always in energy flow. Vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Our atmosphere is constructed the same way. That's why you'll see mist at a certain level. That's as high as it can go. That's why you see clouds at different levels. Now a lot of people are saying, oh, I see clouds all, and then the one above is moving in one direction and the one above that is moving in a different direction, as if this is unnormal. No, this is perfectly normal. Due to the concentric shells of the magnetic field, that's going one way, then perpendicular to the original flow. All of Earth is covered in different directions of magnetic flow, and that's why clouds go in two different directions. You're on a different magnetic level. I think that'll do for today. That's quite a bit of information, but yeah, when we're in heaven or the kingdom and somebody comes up with flowers in his hair, that's not decoration, that's a crown. Thanks very much. My name is Lee. I follow the Christ, and I tell you things so that you believe in an energy God that's going to save you, because energy and matter are separate, as the Lord of the Bible states. The flesh is for the fire. The flesh turns into fire through an inertial plane. As we use energy to move, it is then transformed into something else and ejected from the body, either via the stomach or your lungs. Thanks a lot. Bye.